Hello and welcome to our latest webinar, Exporting During COVID-19. Let's take care of some basics before we get started on the actual course content. You can always stay connected with the Florida SBDC at University of South Florida MUMA College of Business by following us on social. We're on most of the platforms and can be found at /USF SBDC. It's a great opportunity to stay up to date with the latest business trends and events and connect with other business owners. We'd also like to mention our monthly newsletter that includes all SBDC training opportunities in our region for the coming month and usually has a featured business or featured content to help make doing business easier. You can sign up for our newsletter by scrolling to the bottom of the homepage and click the subscribe button. For those of you who are not familiar with what we do at the Florida SBDC at USF, we offer low-cost training, no-cost consulting, and market research and information for small business owners. We're funded in part by the SBA, the state legislature, and various other economic development partners. We offer a wide range of consulting specialties, which are identified on your screen now. At USF, we serve small businesses in the 10-county Tampa region, all the way north to Hernando County and south to DeSoto and Highlands County, as you can see on the map here. I'll be your webinar presenter today. My name is Selma Canas. I'm a certified global business professional and business consultant with the Florida SBDC at USF. My primary role is to develop export marketing plans for companies looking to grow their business internationally. Over the past 7 years, I've developed over 30 plans and participated in trade missions to Brazil, Chile, Canada, Dominican Republic, and Panama, accompanying export clients on matchmaking appointments. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into the course content today. COVID-19 has had a worldwide effect on businesses and consumers. While there was hope initially that this would be a short-lived pandemic, it's clear that it has changed the economic climate for the foreseeable future, and business owners are now having to navigate what the future looks like for them. In terms of international trade, we have some unique challenges, such as restricted travel and supply chain issues. And today we're going to talk about how you can prepare for exporting your product or service in this pandemic economy. As with anything you do in business, the first item we need to talk about today is planning. So the first thing we're going to talk about is country research. Conducting research to identify potential markets is where the majority of your time will be spent, as it is a critical starting point. Which country should I export my product? To answer this question, we need to determine which countries have high demand for the same or similar type products being exported. Using automobile parts, for example, we can look at trade flow data showing which countries are importing the most of tires, engines, brakes, etc., and industry production showing the market value of automobile manufacturing, which would correlate to demand for auto parts. As you can see on the report on the screen now, it's showing imports from all countries of brakes and other parts for motor vehicles. This report is showing the countries that are importing the most of this type of product and the value in US dollars that they're importing from the United States. So as you can see, Mexico, Canada, China, Australia, and Japan are the top 5. On this next one, we're looking at gearboxes for motor vehicles. Same thing, all countries that are importing the most of this product from the United States. So again, we got Mexico, Canada, China, then UK and Italy are the top 5 importers of this product from the US. And this last sheet shows the production statistics of motor vehicle manufacturers. So this organization is the International Organization of Motor Vehicle Manufacturers, and it lists all countries and what their total production of automobiles. And in this slide, it's cars and commercial vehicles. So you can see that China, then US, then Japan, Germany, and India are the top 5 manufacturers of automobiles. So this type of data will provide you a good insight into which countries are importing the most of these automobile parts, if that is what you're exporting. So you're looking for demand, is your primary research, is demand for these products and which countries, are demanding more of these products. So the data that shows which countries are importing the most and which countries are manufacturing the most automobiles will give you a good idea of which countries will be importing the most of automobile parts from the US. So next we're going to be talking about tariffs. These are duties which can also be called taxes imposed by countries on imported goods. Although the importer is the one who pays the tariff, the exporter needs to include it in the pricing strategy to be competitive in that country. So the US has free trade agreements with 20 countries, which eliminate or greatly reduce the tariffs in those countries. This gives the US exporter a competitive advantage over exporters from countries without a free trade agreement with that importing country. So tariffs can be looked up by product and importing country at this website, which is the worldtradeorganization.org. And tariffs, which also includes the free trade countries, but there's an easier website on the trade.gov website is you can look up the tariffs for the free trade countries. And as I said, most of the times it'll be very reduced or almost eliminated for those free trade countries. So we also have non-tariff barriers. So these are barriers other than tariffs imposed by governments to restrict the importing of goods and services into their countries. These are country-specific and include protectionist and legal barriers. So, for example, import licenses, regulations, certifications, and quotas are all examples of protectionist barriers meant to protect local businesses from foreign competition. For example, over-the-counter drugs requires approval by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, prior to selling in the U.S. Many countries will accept the FDA approval, while other countries will not, requiring the U.S. manufacturer obtain approval from that country's FDA equivalent agency prior to exporting the product. Embargoes and sanctions are examples of legal barriers imposed by governments for economic and/or political reasons. These are meant to ban some or all products or services from being imported to a specific country or exported from a country. So it applies to both imports and exports. So another thing we need to research are the competitors in country. So you can learn a lot from researching the international activities of competitors. On their websites, some companies will list their distributors in each country as well as trade shows they exhibit at. So these are two very good sources of information, and it correlates to demand. Also, researching the exhibitors from past trade shows will reveal other competitors you may not know about. If your competitors are exhibiting, that means your target market is attending and you should also be exhibiting. All right, so now we're going to talk about the best route for entry. So market entry strategies vary depending on the level of risk and how much control the exporter wants over the export process. Direct sales to the consumer requires the exporter to handle the entire process. This strategy provides the most control, higher profits, and also higher risk. Using a distributor in country, on the other hand, is less risky for the exporter and can result in a great partnership. The distributors should already have an established network of buyers and can provide after-sales service. Distributors are also knowledgeable about country-specific requirements such as labeling, regulations, just to name a few. Countries also differ in which market entry strategy works best, so this will also need to be taken into consideration when deciding the best entry route. Once all of this research has been completed and you find a country that has a need for your product or service, the next step is to start making connections. Even before COVID-19 stalled the economy and brought on travel restrictions, pre-matchmaking meetings were being conducted in much the same manner they are being done now. The international specialist from the local U.S. Export Assistance Center would facilitate a conference call between the exporter and the international specialist in the target country. Prior to the phone interview, the exporter will fill out a business assessment questionnaire describing the product, industry, and type of relationship they would like to pursue. This will lead the discussion during the conference call so that the in-country specialist thoroughly understands the company and the product in order to find relevant potential partnerships. Next come matchmaking events. Previously, matchmaking events could be accomplished in country. A business owner or its representatives would fly to the country they were interested in exporting to and meet with potential buyers, distributors, etc. Business representatives also had the benefit of a translator for these mission trips. With COVID-19 travel restrictions in place and the virus still on the rise in some areas of the world, this just isn't possible right now. During these matchmaking events, you're able to tour the facilities, see distribution centers, infrastructure, and more. Now, matchmaking events are going to have to be conducted virtually. You will still have the ability to see the facilities when needed if you use any of the virtual meeting platforms that are available today, but you will likely need the aid of a translator in your virtual meeting or someone within your company who knows the language and can help you navigate the conversation. That's why we at the Florida SBDC USF encourage you to work with some of our various partners when trying to export your product or service. These resources are free or low cost depending on how you are utilizing them, and they come with a wealth of knowledge and experience throughout the world. So let me tell you about two of our partners that can be of great resources to you and what they offer. The first is Enterprise Florida. They provide Florida exporters with reimbursable grants for international business activities, including virtual activities. The Virtual Business Matchmaking Grant includes virtual introductions with up to 5 partners, pre-screened in various target markets. The grant covers the entire cost of the matchmaker in country, making this service free to the exporter. The Virtual Trade Show Grant will reimburse the exporter up to $2,500 of the cost of the show. Virtual show formats vary, but may include a pre-designed or custom 3D booth, uploading of digital or video marketing materials, and web chat capabilities with trade show visitors. So for full details on these available programs, you can visit the website on the screen for Enterprise Florida. The second resource is the U.S. Commercial Service. They have in-country specialists in over 70 countries, providing U.S. exporters with market entry assistance, including virtual options. The virtual fair provides exporters with the opportunity to promote their products in a foreign market via a webinar platform. The International Partner Search Plus Virtual Introductions provides exporters with a list and virtual introduction of up to 5 partners that are interested in the exporter's product. So for full details on these products, you can visit the trade.gov website that's on the screen now. We are in precarious times due to the pandemic, but this should not stop you from moving forward with your business endeavors. In the information age that we live in, business can still be conducted efficiently and virtually through technology. So click away and keep exporting. If you're an owner of an export-ready company and you'd like additional assistance, requesting a no-cost consulting session is easy. To request a consultation, just go to our website at sbdctampabay.com and click on Schedule a Consultant button located on the left side of the page, just below the consultant pictures. Input all of the required information and someone from our office will reach out within a few days to get you scheduled with a consultant who can help. We also have international trade resources available at your fingertips on the website. Simply click on the Resources tab and you will find helpful information and important links specific to trade, as well as other areas of business. If you liked what you learned here today, please go to our Facebook page and give us a testimonial or visit us on LinkedIn and leave us a comment. If you need additional assistance or have any questions, you can email me at selmacanas@usf.edu. Please note that you will have to complete a request for consulting online before I can assist you. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notifications on upcoming webinars and success stories featuring local businesses. Also, check out our training page on the website for a list of upcoming live virtual seminars.